Carnegie, Rockefeller, Walker, a trinity of titans from different worlds. And yet they all followed the same formula to create empires. Their stories unveil a hidden playbook of universal laws that turn ordinary people into extraordinary builders of empires. But wait, before we dive into this playbook, I want to ask you a question. Do you know the no? One challenge that keeps 99% of people from building their empires. It's the inability to think big and take bold action. It's our fear of failure, doubt, and the comfort zone. Now, let me ask you, have you ever had a great idea, a brilliant plan that could change your life, but you just couldn't bring yourself to take the first step? Or maybe you did take that step, but soon found yourself frozen again, stuck in the face of minor setbacks or challenges. If you nodded even once, this video is for you. We will discuss why you should care about these secrets, how they can impact your life, and what actions you need to take right now to overcome inertia and begin your journey towards greatness. Now let's unravel the playbook of empire building. Chapter 1. Andrew Carnegie, the master of steel and vertical integration. Carnegie's life is the quintessential rags to riches narrative, moving from extreme poverty to becoming the richest man in the world. Born in a tiny, one-room cottage in Scotland in 1835, Andrew Carnegie's early life was marked by profound struggle. Mechanization destroyed his father's hand-loom weaving business, plunging the family into deep poverty. They borrowed money to immigrate to the U.S., settling in a slum in Pennsylvania. At 13, he began working as a bobbin boy in a textile mill, working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, for $1.20 a day, about $45 today. Carnegie was small, poor, and had almost no formal education. But he possessed something far more valuable, an insatiable drive to improve. He worked his way up through the ranks of the mill, studying every aspect of the business and saving every penny. In 1853, he landed a job with the Pennsylvania Railroad and within 7 years became its superintendent. By age 33, he'd amassed enough savings to invest in a small Keystone Bridge Works, marking his entry into the steel industry. Carnegie quickly gained a reputation for quality and efficiency. When Britain's Prince of Wales visited the bridge works, Carnegie secured an order for 10,000 tons of steel, propelling him to national prominence. This marked a turning point. Carnegie realized the steel industry was poised for explosive growth and decided to go all in. In 1873, he founded the Carnegie Steel Company. His strategy was simple: vertical integration. He took control of every step in the production process, from mining the iron ore and harvesting the coal to producing the final steel product. This gave him unmatched control over costs and quality. Carnegie relentlessly pursued efficiency. He was an early adopter of the Bessemer process, which revolutionized steel production. To his competitors, steelmaking was a means to an end. For Carnegie, it was an obsession. While his rivals paid dividends to shareholders, Carnegie reinvested all profits back into new technology and plants. He famously said, "The secret of success lies in doing the common things uncommonly well." As Carnegie expanded, he absorbed smaller steel companies and drove his costs down. By 1889, he produced half of the nation's steel at a cost that was 1/10 that of his closest competitor. With the U.S. economy booming in the late 19th century, demand for steel skyrocketed. Carnegie was ready. His empire spanned the country. He supplied rails for every major railroad, bridges for every navigable river, and steel for skyscrapers like the world's tallest building. In 1901, he sold his empire to J.P. Morgan for $480 million, today's equivalent of about $17 billion. The deal created U.S. Steel, the world's first billion-dollar corporation. Carnegie didn't retire, though. He devoted his remaining years to philanthropy, focusing on education and world peace. He established over 2,500 libraries worldwide, funded countless educational institutions, and built Carnegie Hall. He died in 1919 at age 83, leaving behind a legacy that transcended steel. Carnegie's genius lay in vertical integration. He didn't just make steel, he obsessed over controlling the entire process. He bought the iron ore mines, the coal fields, the ships and railroads to transport the raw materials, and the factories to produce the final product. By owning every single link in the supply chain, he was insulated from market price swings and could operate at a cost so low that his competitors simply could not survive. He crushed his rivals not just by being better, but by building a system that was fundamentally cheaper. Chapter 2. John D. Rockefeller, the architect of oil and horizontal dominance. If Carnegie mastered the supply chain, Rockefeller mastered the market itself. His story is a lesson in ruthless strategy, order, and patience. Born in 1839, John D. Rockefeller's story is one of remarkable transformation. Despite facing humble beginnings, his impact on the world was monumental. Growing up in a small Midwestern town, his father, William, was a traveling con man and philanderer who was rarely home, leaving his devout Baptist mother to raise him and his 3 brothers. This experience instilled in young John a deep desire for order, stability, and meticulous control, traits that would later define his business approach. Rockefeller's formal education was limited, but he was an avid reader with a voracious curiosity. His career began at the age of 16 when he took a job as a lowly bookkeeper at a small commission firm. There he honed his accounting skills and saved $1,000 in his first 3 years, a massive sum. This financial foundation enabled him to establish his own small produce commission business with a loan from his father. The seeds of his empire were sown. When the oil rush began in western Pennsylvania in the 1850s, everyone was frantically drilling for oil, the product. Rockefeller, however, remained unfazed. He saw the frenzy as chaotic and risky and focused instead on establishing a stable business. His revealed secret was twofold. First, focus on refining. He knew the real money wasn't in finding the oil, but in refining it into kerosene, which everyone needed. The refinery was the bottleneck, and whoever controlled the bottleneck controlled the industry. Second, horizontal integration and rebates. Instead of controlling the supply chain vertically, Rockefeller mastered the market horizontally. He systematically bought out his competitors, consolidating the industry under his banner. His secret weapon was the rebate. His company, Standard Oil, shipped so much oil that he went to the railroads and demanded a secret, massive discount on every barrel. Not only did he get a lower rate for himself, but he also often got a kickback on every barrel his competitors shipped, making it mathematically impossible for anyone else to compete. He strangled them and then bought their failing companies for pennies on the dollar until Standard Oil controlled over 90% of the U.S. stock market. By the turn of the century, Rockefeller was a titan. Standard Oil was the most powerful monopoly in history. Rockefeller's empire stood as a testament to his strategic brilliance, ruthless efficiency, and the power of patience. His empire spanned the globe. He wasn't just an American builder, he was a global architect. Chapter 3. Madam C.J. Walker. Sarah Breedlove, the pioneer of purpose-driven enterprise. Walker's journey is arguably the most inspiring. She faced structural chasms far deeper than Carnegie or Rockefeller and built an empire not just despite them, but because of them. Born in 1867, Sarah Breedlove's life was defined by struggle. The daughter of recently freed slaves on a Louisiana plantation, she was orphaned at 7 and married at 14 to escape her abusive brother-in-law. By age 20, she was widowed with a young daughter and little education. She moved to St. Louis and spent 18 years working as a laundress, earning just over $1 a day. She faced the triple barrier of being a poor, black woman in post-Civil War America. She had zero access to education, capital, or connections. Yet she dreamed of more for herself and her daughter. Then came Madam C.J. Walker's greatest breakthrough. Like many black women of the time, she suffered from a severe scalp condition and hair loss due to harsh lye-based soaps and a lack of access to clean water. Her solution was to fold. 1. Serve the overlooked niche. She didn't invent a new chemical. She tinkered with existing formulas to create a scalp healing and hair growing formula specifically for the needs of Black women, a massive, underserved market that white-owned companies completely ignored. And 2. Empowerment as a business model. Her true genius was her distribution system. She created the Walker Agent sales force, training thousands of Black women across America and the Caribbean to become door-to-door entrepreneurs. She didn't just sell products, she offered her agents a path to financial independence. She built her own wealth by creating a system to make thousands of other women wealthy, too. This was farming with deep roots. By 1906, her business was booming. She built a factory, a salon, and a training school. She became America's first female self-made millionaire of any race, Madam C.J. Walker's story is the ultimate blueprint for farming with deep roots. She built her success not just on a product, but on a purpose, the economic empowerment of her people. This is the playbook of empires. It doesn't matter if you come from humble beginnings or face seemingly insurmountable odds. What matters is the systems you put in place, the relentless pursuit of efficiency, and above all, the courage to take bold action. Take the first step, plant the seed, and watch your empire grow. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.